Welcome to day 2 of How to Automate Your Law Firm in 90 Days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. In today's video, I wanted to just demonstrate to you the power of Airtable and Make.com. So on my screen is Airtable. I already have, this is called a base set up. We'll go through that in future videos. Again, this is just a demonstration. I won't be giving step by step because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. We are taking it step by step. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So again, just sit back and relax and be in awe of the power using Airtable and Make.com. So I am going to go to Make.com, and this is what I call the content powerhouse. Now, one thing that I will mention is you notice that this is the icon for Airtable. And this does look like a, humongous beast. Not really, but it is. It's very powerful. And this is all automation. So what I'm going to do is go back to my Airtable, and in order to start the automation, what I'm going to do is choose start generating for my status. Okay. Going back to make.com, I'm going to click run once. When it starts running, as you notice, it shot to the top row, and you see that it's kind of going in a circular pattern. When you see that, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, when you see the one, that means it was successful. The reason why it first went to the top row is because I chose start generating. And right here in this little filter, and let me zoom in a little bit, you see start generating. That is why this is called a router. It went there first. Now let's go back to our Airtable. And you notice that there were keywords that were entered in, and I'll open this up so that you can see. Here are the keywords that were given: trust versus will, estate planning, last will and testament, revocable trust, and on and on. Okay, and that is because I asked one of the automation. I set it up for Perplexity, which is a large language model, to give me 10 keywords. Okay, I also asked it to give me a summary, and here is the summary: key differences and considerations. And it's just putting information in, again, that has to do with a will. You notice, you see that says will right here, and also trust. Okay. The other thing that it did was it also, also asked for long tail keywords. So some of the long tail keywords that were given are trust versus will differences, will and trust estate planning, avoiding probate with trust, on and on. So you see the difference between just keywords and long tail keywords. And what I'm doing is I am helping my content powerhouse with information so that it can give a really good blog post. Also, it gave the article URL, and all these two articles are basically referencing what I asked, and it's about trust versus will. Okay, and we can use those for references in our blog. Now, you notice that the status was at first start generating, but now it says keywords generated. That means it is complete with that step. Now I'm going to go to prepare an outline, go back to make.com, and I'm going to run it again. Now, this time, if you notice, it'll shoot to the second row because this row is preparing the outline. And yes, I will, as part of the 90 days, if not during the 90 days, immediately after, I will have a video where I show how to set this up step by step. And I do want to give a shout out to a YouTuber called Sumo Bundle. That is where I got some of the ideas for this content powerhouse. Okay, so this is done when you see the ones in the bubble. That means it is done. It is successful. So what I'm going to do is look. I'm going to scoot over. Oh, here is my blog outline. Okay, trust versus will, choosing the right strategy for your family's future. And you notice it has an introduction, some key points, understanding trust and will, what is a trust, key differences, a lot of good content for a blog post. Okay, so now going back to the status, you'll notice it says outline generated. Now I can go to the next step. And this kind of goes along with what I was saying in my previous video, and I'll link it up top and also in the description. One thing about automation that is great, it's technology that is able to perform mundane and repetitive tasks with minimal human intervention, but I mean, interaction, not intervention, interaction. And so, yes, being able to have a human look just to see, because artificial intelligence and automation, as great as it is, we still need humans to do checks, make sure everything is good, things of that nature. So it's not a replacement, it's a collaborative effort that definitely does streamline and minimizes some of the tasks that you either hired someone to do or you were doing yourself. Now I'm going to go to generate image. I'm going back to make.com, and you'll notice now it'll go to this middle. It'll go to the middle line. And there it goes. The router went to the middle line because now I am generating images. And based on what the images look like, I'll reiterate why it's good to just have a human to check to make sure everything is good, especially because we're talking about content. This is building your brand. You want to make sure that any content that is put out, whether a blog post or a social media post, that it is a good representation of your brand. It's clean. It shows you are a professional, and that you really care about the information that is being put out by your business or law firm. Okay, now we're done. So I'm going to go back to our Airtable. And now you see we have blog post image 1 and blog post image 2. So let's look and see what this first image is. Let me open it up. Okay, that's a pretty okay video. I'm sorry, not video, image. And then let's look at the other one. Okay, these are okay. They're pretty okay. I think I would change the prompt that I have for it, but for it is a nice clean video, a nice clean image. So nothing to complain about. One of the things that I was going to mention is that there are times when AI is creating images there, and even though I put do not include letters, text, words, or numbers, it still does it. And so AI sometimes is hit or miss if it can spell or not. And you want to make sure that you check that. You don't want to automate it where it immediately posts to your website, where you have your blogs or your social media platforms, and the image is looking crazy. Okay. So now let's go back to our status. We see that it changed to image generated. Now I'm going to move to prepare sections. Okay. Going back to make.com, and you'll notice it will go to this one, to this line of automation. And I'll show the Google Docs as well, because what I had it do is, let's say you have a client and you're a social media manager and you have a client, or you're at your law firm, you have someone checking the content. What the Google Doc does is it posts the information not only to Airtable, but also to a Google Docs where it can be reviewed as well, not just in Airtable. And I'll show that in just a moment. Okay, and we see everything is successful. So I'm going to go back to my Airtable. Let me close the images. Okay, you see it says all of the sections are generated. Oh, here's my blog post. And what I have, the blog post is in it's in HTML. So what I need to do, I need to go to the doc. That's what would be better for me to show you. So let me go to that. Okay, and here is the blog post: Trust versus Will, choosing the right strategy for your family's future. Now, it did add and I just need to reduce the size. That's why there's so much white space, because it added the image. Let me, it added the image and into the post. This is the same post that's right here. This is just in HTML. Estate planning is essential for every individual, ensuring that your assets are managed and distributed as you wish after your death. This is a good article. Let me scroll down. Understanding trusts and wills. It goes over outlining what is a will, what is a trust, and it gives information that if someone wasn't sure, they could read this blog post and get information. Again, it builds credibility for your firm as well. It talks about the key differences between trust and will. This was all made with the content powerhouse. Okay, not, and it doesn't look like it was just made by like ChatGPT, but ChatGPT was used, but the prep work that went into it before having it to write the blog post, that is the difference. Here it shows the process of setting up trusts and wills. It gives frequently asked questions. So yes, this is a good blog post. Now, I'm not sure why it didn't put the additional resources, because that is what's here, where it says article URL. So let me look. Yeah. And this is the article. This is the article that it's referencing. So I'm not sure why it didn't show it. And I'll show the other one as well, just so you can see how in depth the information is as it's preparing to create the blog post. Will versus trust. So this is in line with the information that we asked for with our article name, trust and will, choosing, I forgot the name of it, y'all. My apologies. Choosing the right strategy for your family's future. Also, and I'll have this open, and this is just a sneak peek of Airtable, the power of Airtable. If you notice, as I open it up, you can see the status, the keywords. So not only can you see it in like in a spreadsheet style, you can also see it in an open view where you're able to read everything. And here is all of the information that we have. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit more. And you notice there's so much information that it doesn't use all of it. So if you notice right here, the additional resources, it did reference the two articles. I'm glad that it has it here because if it didn't show up again, that's an example of why there should be human interaction. Let me scroll down a little bit to see if it's referenced in the blog post here. And this is all like I mentioned before, HTML. That's why we looked at the Google Doc example. It did. It had the example right here. I'm sorry, the resource. So I'm not sure why it didn't show up. But again, if it doesn't show up and you have that information, all a human needs to do is copy it and paste it once you notice that all of the information wasn't given. Okay, especially in that Google Doc we have. Okay, so now sections were generated. Now what we're going to do for our status, we are going to go down to generate social media post. We're going to head back to make.com, and here you notice here we have, and the text parser, that's the HTML. Again, don't worry about that part. I will be showing how you can create this in the marketing automation section for the 90 days. I'll figure out a way because I have a lot of content already that I know I want to put in the marketing automation in those 90 days. So either I'll get to it or it'll be right after, I promise. You notice we have an Instagram post, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also Pinterest. So I'm going to run it, and you're going to notice that it's going to go to this last line because our filter is generating our social media posts. And you see the one bubbles or start to pop up. And let me see if I can go over here, and you'll start noticing. Oh, it already did it. You'll notice that the social media posts are already posted here. So let's take a look. For Instagram, planning for the future, choosing between a will and a trust can be the key to securing your family's legacy. You see it gives the hashtags. Also, the pictures that were given, we can use those as well. Okay. And I just want to go through all of them so that you can see that the content is not the same for all of the social media platform. Trust gives you control while you're alive. Wills only kick in after you are gone. Are you prepared for the future? Understanding the differences between trust and will can significantly impact your family's future. So that's for Twitter/X. Here's the Facebook post. You see there's something different there. We can add one of our pictures or we can generate one as well. And here we have one for LinkedIn. And lastly, for Pinterest. And I am so excited. I just wanted to give a sneak peek of the power that you will have in your law firm. And I know this is marketing, but we will be talking about client intake, document management, how you can automate case management, again, to streamline processes, save you time and money, and increase your capacity so that you will be able to take on more clients. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. If you have any questions or would like to set up a free consultation call with me, just so you can find out more or see the different ways you can automate your law firm, there will be a link for you to set up an appointment with me in the description box. Have a great day.